Among the mourners at the funeral of Qatar's former leader this month were representatives from Iran. They sent condolences, then, the moment the mourning period was over, missiles.
And then, after midnight, 3 hours later, explosions, you could hear sounds of explosions. And so it's a very interesting dynamic how Qatar and Iran have this relationship. There's a lot of tensions, and at the same time, there's a degree of, I wouldn't say compassion, but pragmatism between the two countries.
Qatar is a mediator in the US-Iran war that began in February. And maybe because of that, so far, it's escaped relatively lightly. Unlike Kuwait. Iran has hit Kuwait's airport and now its water desalination sites and the electricity plants that power them. This is a problem for a nation without rivers or lakes.
It's a lot of the times over 110 degrees Fahrenheit, over 50 degrees Celsius. And, this is the worst time, I think, to have any disruption in electricity or water.
This small nation with an outsized global impact is Iran's preferred soft target.
It's the largest crude producer locked in the Strait of Hormuz. And so attacking Kuwait and blockading Kuwait is instilling instability in the energy markets.
Iran's strategy is simple. Rather than take on America head-on, increase the pressure by sending fuel prices soaring and attacking its Gulf allies. The blockade of the Strait of Hormuz is hurting the economies of the Gulf states.
The Gulf states are really, facing significant economic strains at the moment. The World Bank downgraded the region's 2026 GDP growth forecast from 4.4% to just 1.3%. And it is expected that some GCC economies are going to be entering recession in the second half of this year.
The Gulf's reputation as a reliable business and travel hub has been shaken. Conflict expert Sarah Phillips says the extent of damage to the UAE and its biggest city, Dubai, has been kept under wraps.
That's because so much of the economic model of the UAE, but also the Gulf more broadly, is dependent on people wanting to come and visit, whether for tourism or as expats or people who are just flying through the region. And so they really have put all of their eggs in the stability basket, being able to say that we're stable, it is safe to come here.
Saudi Arabia had been somewhat insulated from the crisis. It has profited from increased prices, able to shift oil to its western port and export via the Red Sea and the Bab el-Mandab Strait. But that course runs past Yemen and territory controlled by Iran's allies, the Houthis, who have been fighting Saudi Arabia since 2015.
They don't necessarily fall into line with whatever Iran wants, but they often they do take direction. They take money. They've got weapons coming in. They've got a lot of financial interests, a lot of military interests tied in with Iran, and that has escalated each year since the group's been around.
The Houthis say they've already struck 2 Saudi ships in the Red Sea.
The operation was carried out by ballistic and cruise missiles and drones. The strikes were precise, thanks to Allah's grace and assistance, and caused a large fire on both vessels.
But just the threat of attack is enough to deter ship operators. Already, Saudi tankers bound for Asia are taking the long way out of the Red Sea through the Suez Canal.
But it is a longer route. And very expensive as well. It takes, a couple of weeks more time. So supply chain don't like that delay because it involves cost. It involves insurance.
The Houthi involvement is a setback for Saudi Arabia and its crown prince, Trump favourite Mohammed bin Salman.
extremely respected man in the Oval Office today, and a friend of mine for a long time, a very good friend of mine.
This week, Mr. Trump struck a remarkable deal with the prince that reportedly will allow Saudi Arabia to begin enriching uranium.
This is something that Saudi Arabia has wanted for a very long time, and some of the reasons that they want this are for the same reasons that Iran wants to have a nuclear program. They are very aware that they have a finite supply of natural resources available to them.
The Biden administration had touted a similar deal, but with stricter guardrails and only if Saudi Arabia improved relations with America's key ally in the Middle East. The Israeli reaction has been furious.
The nuclear agreement taking shape with Saudi Arabia over Israel's head is a severe strategic failure that endangers our security. Enrichment of nuclear material on Saudi soil could lead to a regional nuclear arms race and a dangerous loss of control.
The nuclear deal will do nothing to calm nerves in a region already in a state of high anxiety.
We're in a very precarious situation right now. It could escalate out of control, and you see a full-fledged war, and you're seeing the Houthis getting involved. It could be very costly to the Gulf economies and the international economies as well.